Hey guys, don't go anywhere. I've got my hands on the brand new Count Dooku Jedi Legacy Lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge. And today I'm going to be comparing it to the Count Dooku Sith Legacy Lightsaber. I'm going to compare the designs, see which one's louder, and would you believe that the Jedi lightsaber does something that most of you may have missed? So don't go anywhere. Hey, all you Star Wars fans, thank you so much for clicking on my video. This is Finding the Force, where I make videos about anything Star Wars, video games, theme parks, and especially lightsabers. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate the support. Thanks, guys. And don't forget to click that like button on my video. I think that really tells YouTube I make good videos. I hope during the winter season, all of you are staying healthy out there. I know we're not, but then again, I have younglings, so I don't stand a chance. Another special video, I got my hands on the last of the newest Legacy lightsabers that Disney has released that nobody saw coming. I'm so excited, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't mean to exaggerate when I say I think the new Dooku Jedi Lightsaber is like kind of my favorite. And we're going to talk about why. I finally think I figured out why it looks so incredibly cool. Let's just break it out here. So I believe both these Dookus are about $169 before tax. So you're looking at about $180 without a blade. Disney recently increased the price of their Savi's Workshop and all their Legacy lightsabers by about $20. The Savi's experience is now like $250. The saber, the blade, and the sheath. So that really puts things into perspective. If this Dooku saber is $180 and a blade is $50, you're up to $230 now, and you're halfway to a Neopixel lightsaber from Art Sabers. So really, you know, the more these prices are going up, it really it's making choices a little harder for you fans out there of which one to buy. I think this might be one of the only times Disney's releasing a character lightsaber before everyone else. So this is the first time we're going to take a look at the Count Dooku Jedi lightsaber from the miniseries on Disney Plus, Tales of the Jedi. And I sat down and I made a whole breakdown video. I posted half of it, and it has not been my highest performing video. So I'm kind of struggling with the motivation to finish editing it. If you'd like me to, please tell me down in the comments. But Dave Filoni is like my hero, and I love the miniseries and how much more of Dooku's character we now understand, seeing more of his backstory. I've reviewed the Dooku Force Effects Saber, the Dooku Legacy Saber, and I've always mentioned in my videos, guys, I had a hard time imagining that Dooku as a Jedi was carrying this around and everyone thought it was okay. I mean, it's a pretty menacing, dark-looking saber, which is why the Jedi version makes so much sense, and I really like the design of this lightsaber, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's really freaking cool. Let's take a look at it. Here I have the Jedi Dooku Legacy lightsaber. Wow, this thing was even cooler to see in person than I thought it would. Oh man. And I actually thought at first glance that this is less bent, had a less of a curvature than his Sith saber. I finally decided why this is so cool. This hook here at the emitter, I like the shape of it. It's shorter, has more of a sharper edge. Here's the coolest part of the design is this Cal Kestis type shroud on top. Oh man, get your microfiber cloths out, guys. This is definitely a chrome saber. Part of the shroud has this different finish to it. It almost has, I don't want to say it's not a glittery, but it's definitely a bright silver painted part of the shroud, which matches the emitter and this part of the under blade here. And we have these very discreet but cool accents of this rubber grip, which actually does help. I really like this ring of the grip, which isn't really functional, but it looks really good and accents the design of the saber. And we have this very unique shaped grip here for the handle, which also here is on the lower grip where we have a second type of shroud here near the pommel cap. You guys see that? Definitely not chrome, more of a matte, darker silver. And I think that's what adds to the really interesting design of this lightsaber, is that there's so many textures, colors, shapes, even with this gold trigger switch here down near the pommel cap. And the pommel cap here, which I'm very curious to see how well the sound is emitted from this chunkier pommel. I know the Sith pommel had a hard time letting the sound resonate out of the larger, chunkier metal cap, so we're gonna see how this sounds. Let's just check out what's under the hood here and see if the battery is not rechargeable. Definitely not. And one of you guys mentioned in the comments, it's really kind of a headache having all these AA battery sabers. I think at least once a year, it'd be a good idea to swap them all out to make sure those batteries aren't melting and ruining your sabers. That would be a very disappointing thing to find one day. We got the CoverTech clip here. Looks like you almost maybe should wear this on the right side of your hip, so it would hang like this. Most Jedi, I think, wear it on the left side. You're just gonna have this hook pointing outward, which I guess is probably a good idea. Now let's compare the designs of both the Dooku sabers, and just like I thought that the Jedi Dooku was less bent, it's really, I guess it is less bent, just by a tiny bit. Look at the pommel. This pommel on the Sith saber is bent downward a bit more than the Jedi, but the rest of the 2/3 of the saber look about the same. I actually really like the Jedi hook better than the Sith hook. Look how menacing that looks though. That's definitely a Sith emitter hook. I can't tell you guys how cool it is to hold a saber with two completely different Jedi and Sith versions of it. The different triggers, there's still gold accents, so you can tell on the Jedi trigger or this little button here on the pommel. Very interesting to see them side by side. Less black rubber grip with the Jedi saber. Very cool. In just a minute, I'm going to weigh both of them and see if one of them weighs more than the other. But tell me down in the comments, just on design, which one is your favorite. All right, guys, let's check the weight of the Sith and the Jedi Dookus. The Jedi Dooku is weighing in at one of the higher ends of the weights for all the legacy lightsabers at 2.5 pounds. And surprisingly, guys, I can't believe this, the Sith Dooku is only 2 pounds. And now that I'm holding both of them, I really can feel the extra 1/2 pound in the Jedi saber. Why? That shroud's gotta be 1/2 pound or something. But the Sith saber definitely feels lighter than the Jedi. There is one little tiny detail that I'm not crazy about. It might just be my saber though. My Jedi Dooku switch basically is kind of hard to activate and deactivate. You have to kind of get your nail under there to flick the switch. Maybe it's just new. The Sith saber is much easier to activate and deactivate using the switch underneath. You know, just a small detail I want to share with you guys. Now, what's a saber without a blade, huh? All right, I got blades. I think I got 32s in my sabers. I think my favorite blades that I mentioned in my video of 15 lightsaber accessories that you guys didn't know about, if you missed it, make sure to check it out, because I talk about my favorite Neopixel lightsaber blade, which is about 32 or 33 inches long. So now if I put in a 36-inch blade, it seems like abnormally long for some reason. So I've been kind of gravitating towards Asavi's Workshop, 31-inch blades. Great, you know, average length, not too much of a burden to pack or carry around. And to wield them, how does it feel? They feel very cool in different ways. This is so cool. Let's stop monkeying around. Let's check out the sound of these bad boys, okay? Of course, start with the Jedi Dooku saber. Let's kill the light. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Woo! That is a quiet sound. Let's try that again. Very cool activation sound, but very quiet. Very quiet. Let's listen to that hum. Yeah, this is definitely a Jedi Dooku hum to it. It's hard to describe. It's, you know, it's got that engine kind of a hum. Yeah. But it doesn't sound dark and menacing. It does sound lighter. Let's check out those clash effects. I was listening for that sound when he like off Seattle's head. I don't think I hear it in there. The activation sound is definitely short. And real quick, we'll just check the sensitivity. There we go. So definitely a far cry from smooth swing. Well, Disney did it again, you guys. Unique, cool Jedi Dooku sound effects. And let's compare it with the Sith Dooku. Jedi Dooku and Sith Dooku. All right, the Sith definitely has a louder activation. I think the volume of their hums are equal. The clash effects of the Sith saber are louder than the Jedi. And deactivation. Yep, Sith saber is definitely louder, even though it's pumping sound through this big chunky metal pommel cap. But also another thing to keep in mind, guys, being much thicker, there's not going to be much spinning going on here. Because the Sith saber has more of a rubber grip and this is more chrome, this is where usually my hand is gripping it when I'm trying to spin it. This might slip right out of your hands, so I don't recommend spinning. That, yeah, may not be the best saber for fancy moves, guys, okay? Keep that in mind. And one thing I can't forget to mention, you guys, is that this lightsaber does something super unique that not many Legacy sabers do. It's kind of subtle. It may not catch your eye at first, but when you activate the saber, it's actually flickering. What? Yeah, I'll show you guys here in the dark. There you go. Check that out. That is blade flicker. How cool is that? It's really subtle. It's very light, but it's flickering. The only other sabers I could think of that flicker are the dark saber and the Kylo Ren. Let's compare the two blades. There you go. Can you see the flicker on the blue? Very subtle, but I think it's a really awesome accent that I wish was there on opening day when I bought my first Luke saber, because I really missed it having a little bit of flicker to it. And I bet what would make this flicker look even better is if I put blue cosplay covers on it from Mad at Fire First. I mentioned that in that accessories video as well. I think that even makes the flicker more pronounced. It has to do with the light diffusion. Something to note, guys, I remember when my son and I reviewed the Dooku Force Effects and the Legacy saber, and I remember the Force Effects saber didn't line up correctly, that it was off by like a half an inch or something. That would drive me crazy. The Legacy Dooku is right on the money. And with the Jedi Dooku, you don't even have to worry about it because it's like a little disc that unscrews from the pommel cap. This saber is a blast to wield, and it'll be really interesting to see the other companies catch up and make their replica sabers and compare them to see how their designs differ from Disney's. But man, it's a blast to wield. It's super fun. But this chunky guy is 2.5 pounds. So definitely going to be kind of more of a shelf queen at home. Not so much like bring on Rise of the Resistance with you on your hip. Man, so please tell me in the comments, which Dooku saber would you choose? Same price, Sith or Jedi? And tell me if you guys really enjoyed the Tales of the Jedi miniseries. I totally loved it. Seeing Ahsoka's backstory, all the action. It was a breath of fresh air. If I just bumped into Dave Filoni at the mall, I would definitely thank him for that. It was a gift to all of us Star Wars fans out there. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you. Stay safe out there and make sure to have an awesome Star Wars day. Take care, guys. Thanks.